heart is full of joy after the viewing we have just had. I don't know about you, I am feeling good.
Fresh after watching a bit of Black Dynamite.
I wasn't in the best of moods when I came here. I'd had to work late. I was covered in radiator water, and
I was covered in radiator.
And after some popcorn, some Coca-Cola, a film, and some chat, I'm feeling much better.
It's been emotional.
Oh, thank you, Vinny.
Welcome to Downturn, take 3, where we've actually planned something. We've done we're going to do a movie review.
Not going to be any better though, no matter how much preparation.
It's going to be with a terrible film, but in a good way.
Yeah,
it's been a great film.
A film you should know about.
We loved it. Haley, who you might say could be the voice of reason in this entire situation, she said it was pretty terrible, but
could not be rated.
But yeah, well, she couldn't rate it, so you might say her opinion is worthless.
No opinion is worthless, but when you can't rate something
you've just sat through. I mean,
twice.
I've watched it twice with Haley. The first time she fell asleep. This time, obviously, the wee man was running about, so she was kind of preoccupied with him. But if you combine the two, she's seen it. She's seen it from start to finish. I mean, she's not missed any important plot points.
It's difficult to get a rating because...
Well, I've rated it. I'll save it for the end of what
we'll
talk about it first, then I'll give you my rating.
It is difficult to rate some films because this is like Forrest Gump, but you've been smoking a whole lot of crack.
Well, this film could have been a biopic based on my life.
I like it.
It's about a man who's... What is he? He's a pimp.
He used to be in the CIA.
He used to be in the CIA. He fought in Vietnam.
Mm-hmm.
He gets reinstated to the CIA.
He's a righteous old fella.
He's a righteous mofo. He cleans up the streets.
Uh-huh.
He
was an orphan.
Was an orphan, even though you see his mum.
Mm-hmm. She does die, though.
She dies, but he looks old enough that he would probably live on his own.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say?
Yeah.
So he's in the CIA. So yeah, pretty much just based on my life.
It's about 8 films rolled into one.
We've missed one hellish important plot point.
Do tell.
He's a kung fu master.
Oh.
The movie is riddled with kung fu.
Every film should have kung fu.
And it is just twist after twist.
Can you... Every film ending with kung fu would be better. Gone with the Wind. Frankly, my dear.
Kung fu and anything. I mean, I'm a big fan of a bit of kung fu.
We talked about this last episode. Ben had never seen it. You know,
Ben knew there was kung fu in that film
he
instinctively, just by a
with whiskey,
vague description.
With whiskey flowing through his system at a dangerous rate.
With more whiskey than blood in his system.
You're more liquor than man. It was he could figure out there must be kung fu in this, just from a description.
An important plot point not to be missed.
But I think this is a good time to review this film because it was brought out in 2009, and we'll maybe save it for the end. But there's a little surprise.
Was it not 2007?
No, the release date. Now look at this for research.
Mark has notes. That's how well prepared we are.
Written like a child.
The writing does not look great.
This film was released in October 16th, 2009.
Why did I think it was 2007?
I don't know, but we mentioned it last time. I discovered this. We were buying a couple of DVDs just to watch with KFC back when I could have KFC.
Can you not have KFC now?
No. I can have a salad.
There's gluten in KFC.
It's how you cook it.
You don't go to KFC for a salad. Who does that?
Nah, weirdos. Again, or as Ben would call them, what was it?
Perverts?
I'm perverts. Mentalists. Again. But, or just vegetarians.
Possibly vegetarians.
You know.
They're not going to KFC though.
If they have...
Chicken's in the name.
If they go with their family. There's 10 of them.
Do vegetarians have families?
Of course they have families.
Save a cow, eat a vegetarian.
Ewan's a vegetarian.
Is he?
And Ewan's cool as hell, isn't he?
Yeah,
You've got a lot of time for Ewan.
Yeah, I didn't know he was a vegetarian.
Well, has this changed your
Always
opinion?
thought he ate meat.
Right. Anyway, so this was released in 2009. We were going to buy. I think we bought Jackass 2 or 1.
You surely didn't watch this in 2009.
No, it would have been a bit later. It might have just came out on DVD, so maybe say 2010.
Really? So you've known about this film that long and never mentioned this?
There's a lot of films out there.
There is a lot of films.
And I've showed you some good ones. You've showed me some good ones. TV. I didn't know about what's that thing you were showing me earlier that looked amazing that was on Netflix.
Oh, Deadliest Warrior.
Oh,
we need to do that.
I'm in.
Even if we just watch one episode and just...
If we can just reach some people and they, right, if you want just a stupid film that's quite funny, this is probably a good film to start with.
I think if anyone does have a stupid film they'd like us to watch and take the piss out of and give our views, which no one probably will, just fire us a message on Facebook. Follow us on Facebook and then fire us a message.
Aye.
We'll review shit films. We watch shit films for fun.
I'm making a Twitter account and tagging Michael J. White. And
I don't know what Twitter is, so...
it's a lot of folk giving shit opinions, which is why I fit right in.
Oh, okay.
But no, I've been blocked by a few people.
I was just going to say, Mark here has been blocked by Bradshaw.
JBL from the wrestling. I don't know why. I went, I can't. I wasn't following him. But they were going on that he was blocking lots of people and he was getting really defensive, somebody was saying on it. And I was like, well, I'll have a look. Why can't I find him? I had to Google it to find him. You are blocked from reading JBL's tweets.
I don't know what you've... I mean...
Who's that touchy? He was in the APA, always pounding ass.
He could just give you a clothesline from hell and be done with it, let's be honest.
God,
although if he did clothesline from hell, you'd
what would you
snap
rather?
Like a twig.
Do you remember Farouk's finisher?
Oh, it's Farouk's finisher.
The Dominator. He would lift you up on your back, would been his shoulder, and then he'd throw you forward onto your front. Now, would you rather take a clothesline from hell or a Dominator?
Dominator. Clothesline from hell. You could decapitate you with that thing, man.
I kind of have to agree, even though I think there was only two folk that would take the Dominator, and they were both the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
I literally, that's thinking back.
I used to like the Acolytes.
They were good, but I still like Bradshaw, but he's clearly not a fan of me.
No, he's not a fan of Big Mark.
Aye. So JBL.
Do you think we'll see you facing off in the wrestling ring, the squared circle?
I'll be honest. If we do, it might be the last thing I do.
If you do, I would like JR and King to be commentating on it.
Who else can commentate?
I would demand.
I want. If you put JR, have you seen the YouTube video where they put JR's commentary over like games?
Over anything.
Oh, over anything's great, but there's a game and there's like Luigi comes off a wall or something, and Mario drives past like looking at him or something, and it's like, you son of a bitch, you're going straight to hell.
King, what are you doing, you sick son of a bitch?
Slobberknocker is great. You could put him on anything. It's great.
I'm pretty sure we've watched videos just with their commentary.
We spent a night doing that, actually. We watched the 2001 Royal Rumble, and then you commented, you were like, let's watch everything with JR and King.
The best bit of that 2001 Royal Rumble is where Kane fucks the honky tonk man in the face with his guitar. That's
so good. I could watch that just about once a week for the rest of my life.
I'm saying that's the best bit. The best bit is the King singing along with the honky tonk man while he gets fucked in the face.
You know they're related.
Yeah.
Aye, that's pretty sweet.
It's pretty obvious though.
But when you see it, it's obvious, but you don't think, oh, I wonder if they're related. You know, but
you just assume.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you put them together in a lineup, you'd be like, oh, yeah.
I
swear they could be brothers.
I don't want to know about King in a lineup because there is a story that he actually was, he was alleged to have done something illegal. And
that's when the King blocked Mark on Twitter.
No, but he was proven innocent. Again.
Yeah.
And hey, we've all he didn't do anything. It was just it was a bad allegation.
We had Ben Spacey on last week.
Oh God, he was so worried. It's always the nice guys.
Things got crazy last week after we stopped recording. It was entertaining.
God, it was.
Ben, you owe me a chair.
I enjoyed every second.
It was brilliant.
Even though it was a bit scary,
terrifying, but it was so funny.
I've
very enjoyable.
Who am I? Who am I to talk about alcohol?
Exactly.
We've seen the nick I can get in.
We've all been there.
Oh God! And the thing is, I can't handle it anymore. Anyway, we were going to do a film, weren't we? Aye. Yep. Okay. But so released in October 16th, 2009. We were buying DVD. We brought Jackass 1 or 2. I can't remember. Both good, but you expect them. You know what you're getting. We saw the cover for this, me and Michael, and went, this needs to be bought. Took it home, watched it, and basically, well, words cannot explain what we saw on the screen until now. Until we get to 2018, we feel prepared to talk about it.
It was... It starts off, the music, the theme tune at the start is like something out of Grand Theft Auto 1.
I think
that's what I can liken it to.
You could put the music onto this if you were blind, and you'd probably get the gist of the film because every song is about the scene that's actually happening.
The music describes what's happening in the film. It's absolute genius. The lyrics are just literally what you're watching.
There's an opening with the advert for Anaconda malt liquor.
Oh,
it gives you and that is the first thing we see, but that comes into play.
Important plot
later
point.
On, and very important. This film changes every 15 minutes though.
It starts off Black Dynamite bursts into a room, picks up some money, takes it back to his holes, because this is going to...
but you're forgetting, we see a lineup of 3 gentlemen in the streets with the dark-skinned mob boss talking to them, and there's a snitch.
Yes, yeah.
And now we realise that the one in the middle,
the young man gets killed.
Undercover, his brother Jimmy gets found out because he can't keep up with the jive talking lingo.
No, he's not great at the street chat.
No, he's not great undercover.
You might say, kind of like us.
You might say that. I'm down.
Well, you are down with the
I'm from the ghetto.
The kids.
No, you're not. You can't say that.
See, this is how unfamiliar with the street chat I am.
Yeah, well,
Anyway, so Black Dynamite, he goes in, he takes his hoes some money. Then you realise he's the pimp, but he's a nice pimp. He gives a big roll of cash to his head hoe. He's a good lad.
Mm-hmm. He's looking after them. He's making them up. By the way, he's just got out of bed with 3 women after showing them a good time. Well, you realise there's 5 when it pulls out, and he goes, "Hey, keep it down, sugar.
Keep it down, sugar. You wake up to other bitches."
And Hayley said there was 4, but it was just one.
Hayley said there was 4. She apparently thought one of them was about 9 feet tall.
Aye, because there's a pair of legs at the bottom.
Just hanging at the bottom. She's like, "There's only
one
4
at the
there."
top.
No, that's 5.
Very much reminds me of Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer.
The bit that upset Hayley the most, though, there's like obviously a kind of montage of when he's banging the 3 of them. Mm-hmm. It starts off with a big pair of boobs,
and then goes
smaller, and then smaller again. Hayley didn't like that. I think the order she would have preferred would have been small, medium, large.
Mm-hmm. I kind of see where she's coming from.
I see where she's coming from as well, but it was just interesting.
I didn't know
to hear my wife's point of view on.
I didn't know there was
on the titty screen.
Tit law in films, but apparently so. Do you think Tarantino watched that and went, "They've made an error there"?
That's a schoolboy error there with the tits.
Spielberg's watching, going, "God." He's probably thinking, "I wish I'd put that scene in Schindler's List. It would have fit just right."
Well, Schindler's List was missing tits, was it not?
Do you know when Schindler's List came out in cinema, you weren't allowed to eat popcorn?
So tonight when we were eating a bag of popcorn each, we would have been cast out.
Aye, you've been chucked out. No, you just wouldn't be allowed to buy it.
What about that time you went to see Schindler's Fist?
No, I will not talk about Schindler's Fist. It's not a direct sequel. But then
you start to learn a wee bit more about Black Dynamite and his childhood and that. I mean, his story about when he used to fight. Mm-hmm. He would fight. And then when I got tired, I'd fight some more. Mm-hmm. He liked to fight.
Well, he fought when he needed to.
Fight
and
he did it for
the good of people, and I think that should be commended.
My other kind of like the start scene with the kung fu. This is where you learn he's a kung fu master. He's training, and he's just kicking the shit out of these little kung fu guys. I mean, there must be like 6 or 7 of them, and he's just absolutely wailing on them. But the best thing about the entire scene is the headband that he wears that kind of eats into his afro. And makes his head look like a microphone.
And you learn that you should never interrupt his kung fu with a phone call.
Never interrupt his kung fu.
Who the hell is this?
Black Dynamite? It's your Aunt Billy.
Now, Aunt Billy, how many times I told you not to call here and interrupt my kung fu?
But
get out of my house! I'll see you out tomorrow. And that's when he finds out his brother's been killed.
Well, the police, his former Vietnam buddy, is head of the cops, and he comes in to tell him.
He's the head of the CIA, isn't he?
Well, yeah. And he informs him that he's not got a license to kill. So
we knew that, though. I mean, he's like, you relinquished. He kind of gives you the background that he was in the CIA, but the other bit we've missed is the part where he walks in with the bear. There's a bear in the room that he uses as his gun rack. He just hangs his massive chrome handgun, which I swear to God is literally 2 feet long.
Yes.
It's an absolute beast. He hangs that in the bear, and then when O'Leary bursts in, he's like, I can't remember what the hell he calls it. It's like a trick that he learned when he was in Vietnam.
The old Vietnam bear trick.
The old Vietnam bear trick. The old switcheroo.
Switcheroo. Hoodwinked again.
Hoodwinked again.
But then you find out the backstory that they were both in Vietnam. They were buddies, but now they're on sort of separate sides, but still together. But they are friends, even though it doesn't come across that way. And then the Vietnam flashback and monologue from Black Dynamite.
Absolute fantastic monologue from Black Dynamite talking about his time in Vietnam.
Should we even talk about that, or you guys splice that in?
I think we should just play that because it's brilliant.
Well, that'll be spliced in because we can't give that justice.
So it'll be spliced in.
All the dead Chinamen we left in our tracks. I remember the faces, the children. This one child I'll never forget. Poor little bastard was still alive. Little Chinese legs were blown clean off. Still see his little shins and feet hanging from the ceiling fan across the hut. He was charred from his head down to his little Chinese knees. He tried to get up, but he fell over when what was left of his right leg broke off. As he laid there, flat on his face, he looked up at me. His little Chinese eyes burned right into my stomach, deep into my soul. He said something to me in Chinese, like, what was that? Sounded like some cartoon shit, but I understood it to be a question that he was asking me. And I don't have to know how to speak Chinese to know what that question was. Why, Black Dynamite? Why?
that was the splice in there, so we better add some fake laughter.
Again, most fake laughter, 1950s.
Good fake laughter. We're watching the Flintstones.
Well, you don't need fake laughter for that. That's a good scene.
It was a good scene.
You're in already. You listeners, you're in already.
You're hooked with this.
You're hooked.
Yeah, so he's done his Chinaman Vietnam scene.
God. Ceiling fans. Did they have ceiling fans? We're going to have to look that up.
I don't think they had the Chinese in Vietnam. That would be my first issue with that.
Well, we don't know for sure, but yeah, I think they've genuinely made mistakes in this to make it funny.
Vietnamese.
Aye, yeah, you know,
Not
the
Chinese.
Viet Cong.
Vietnamese still had knees.
Oh, yes, I would think so.
Well, you would hope so.
Aye. There's a series of digging a series of tunnels like the Viet Cong. But then we learn, we're introduced to cream corn.
Cream corn.
And the hairdressers. And the chase scene.
How
would you describe it?
Very 70s.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flares.
There are worse chase scenes in proper high budget films.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know what yin is the most annoying yin? And I don't know if you ever seen the Matrix films.
Not
even
for
the
a long
first
time.
one.
Yeah, I've seen them,
one,
but
right?
not for a long time.
The agents in the Matrix, right? One agent, right? They are fast enough to evade bullets. But when they're chasing Keanu Reeves, normal speed.
You might say that was a little kind of flaw.
Yeah.
In the film.
There's flaws in
Speaking of flaws in Black Dynamite, the bit where he's talking to his hoe and she's smoking an unlit cigarette.
Oh, God.
Absolutely brilliant.
Now, do you think that was because she really didn't want to smoke and they wanted to keep her in, or it was just in for something to keep you entertained, to keep you interested? Because there's a lot of things like that.
Because the film's that bad, that's the kind of shit
they
you know.
made it to be quite bad, but funny bad, rather than...
It's...
The Room was made to be good,
no,
but turned out awfully good.
It was just
this is made awfully bad to be awfully good.
Aye. But yeah, you're introduced to cream corn.
And the chase.
Cream corn in the chase, yeah, the chase.
And he's not going to give up the information until he hangs him over the ledge of a building.
He's got him pinned by the kind of... You'd say he's grabbed him by his lapels.
Yes.
And he's got him with a fist raised. Tell me what I need to know, sucker. And then he's like, I ain't telling you nothing. The next, cut is him hanging from his ankles by Black Dynamite over a building. Tells him everything. Squeals like a piggy.
Like Vanilla Ice being held over the balcony by Suge Knight of Death Row Records. Just exactly like that, but with both black men.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Aye. Which is then when you learn about Chicago Wind.
Oh, God.
Cream corn, you jive motherfucker.
And then Black Dynamite enters to confront Bullhorn. And what precedes is a fight scene.
Oh no, that's Chicago Wind.
Oh no, Chicago Wind.
Bullhorn's his pal.
Aye, Bullhorn comes in and he
saves the day.
Aye, with a slap.
With a slap.
Right.
That was brilliant.
Should you splice that in?
Definitely.
Right.
I'll try. I'll do that.
Well, we'll try. Splice.
Mind you, I won't be able to. How will I do that? Because you kind of need to see the fight scene. Watch Black Dynamite.
Aye, watch it. It's good.
I think it was Sony Pictures that produced that. This is kind of an advert.
Yeah.
Black Dynamite by Sony Pictures.
Oh, we're giving this the big licks.
Oh, aye.
Aye. This is
full props to them. It's a film. We just enjoyed watching it.
We'll get to ratings and things at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Not just ours, like other people's.
Oh,
right? Yeah. But then there is a car chase.
Oh, yeah.
Haley
loved the car chase.
Very, very, very annoyed by the car chase. But I think we all would be if we knew it wasn't.
Nah, I thought it was genius.
But
brilliant.
They did that thing where they're going forward, nothing but forward, but
looking
turning
back.
the wheel. Aye, turning
and driving. Yeah, driving in a straight line, but constantly turning the wheel.
But
where are
they're
you going?
taking the piss. But loads of films do this.
Oh,
films, proper films.
Absolutely.
And then he goes over the cliff like the end of The Young Ones. Great.
A solid.
Now that's
solid kind of midpoint.
Aye, and that's so and so the badge that goes over the top because he's not paying attention. You mentioned his name a minute ago. Not Bullhorn.
Oh, Chicago Wind. Yeah.
So Chicago Wind
so
is
that's
no
the
more.
end of him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was a bit of a pointless scene, actually.
Well, at the end of the day, but he got his
But
information.
I mean, there was a kung fu scene before it as well. Black Dynamite goes in.
Now, the thing is,
he kicks the shit out of a light.
Then we're going into the big mob boss who killed his brother.
And the nunchucks.
Oh, the nunchucks.
Tell you what, for it being a comedy film, he's pretty handy with his kung fu and nunchucks.
Like I tell you, Michael J. White has been in a lot of films. He's in, now off the top of my head, he's in Exit Wounds. You ever seen Exit Wounds?
He's an absolute tank of a man.
Aye, it's a good film. It's Steven Seagal's best film, probably, up there with Under Siege. It's good.
Seagal.
DMX in it as well. But
that's why you like it then.
It's genuinely good though.
Because of your man crush on DMX.
I like his music. You know, he's a bit of a dick though. He's a bit of a dick. 15 Waynes with, you know, we had different lasses. You do your
Calm
thing.
down, baby.
He's in prison again.
Let a cats get that name.
But yeah, then we get the mob boss saying the classic, "I want him dead."
Oh, there's always. I mean, the mob. That's obviously needed to be incorporated into the film, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So where have we got to?
Well, there's
Chicago Wind's dead.
Yep. We've been introduced properly to the boss who wants Black Dynamite dead. There's a scene where
is this not the part where he goes back to his brother's house?
Yeah.
And then gets shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason, basically the doctor's like, "Black Dynamite, you bad man. You've just got shot again. That's like the third time this year." And then he has a go at him for trying to ride his nurse.
But he says, "Hey,
damn, you sent him in here with them titties. What do you expect?"
And yeah, that's you know, would that fly nowadays? Hashtag me too.
Well, he always got nurses coming on to me.
Oh well, hey, you
never.
Know, you tell that. He'll listen to this.
Never the doctor's mate. Anytime I was a man.
But then he goes in and he sees some other people, and he walks in after they shut the door. Basically, they don't lock the door.
The Black Panthers.
Aye.
Yeah, he walks in and he's like, "How the hell did you get in here?" I walked in.
Oh, you're so one of those sneaky men.
One of those sneaky motherfuckers.
It's great.
That's when he gets the Black Panthers on side, and he basically tells them that he's hell on earth.
Then he finds out that his brother Jimmy, who was killed at the start, has been working with the cops because he wants to be like Black Dynamite.
Aye. Which makes him feel like worse.
Guilty. Even though he shouldn't.
That's when he joins the CIA. He rejoins.
He's back in. 30 minutes into the film, back in the CIA.
Reinstated. That's the twist, though, isn't it?
To kill.
That's the first twist. Your brother was in the CIA trying to get the drugs off the street.
Now here there's a line where he's talking to the lady in the Black Panthers who's trying to get power, but she's not got the pizzazz, the charisma to do it. And the congressman's getting the better of her. And afterwards he's going, do you want my help? Or are you too proud for it? And this is where Forrest Gump's a great film, but life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you get. See, at the start of that film, they could have saved an hour and a half of that film if the woman beside him had just went, "Forrest, why don't you turn that piece of cardboard over? It tells you what the chocolates are. It tells you the flavours. It tells you the types."
Well, then it would have been a bit of a shit film.
It would, and it's a good film. Do you know Bubba, the guy who does Bubba? Yeah. You know, two of the people that were offered that role first, and Dave said no.
Who?
Dave Chappelle.
No way.
He said he regretted it. He didn't think the film was going to be good. He said his biggest regret. Dave Chappelle was good, right?
Don't know if David would be good as Bubba though.
Maybe, but this is a belter. This is a belter. Do you know who else was offered it and said no?
Please say Charlie Murphy.
No.
Damn.
Ice Cube. I'm not even joking. Like literally, could you imagine Ice Cube in the Nam? Instead of Three Kings, he was in this. I'm not lying about this. Look it up. That's broken you. Scott's broken. He hasn't laughed this much since my virginity story.
Imagine Ice Cube and Forrest Gump. That'd be ridiculous.
You're making them clean the floor. Fuck you, man. Fuck you, drill sergeant. It'd have been great. It'd have been great. Oh man, but I think.
Tickled me. By the way, the virginity story, we need to tell that.
No, 50th episode.
Not in a film review.
50th episode.
I'm thinking take 4.
Oh no,
straight into virginity stories. Mine's just terrible. Yours is absolutely gold.
Oh god. Right. Where were we? Right.
I think we're on about Ice Cube.
There's a saying this now. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you get. Right. Good saying, but at the end of the day, you could have just turned a cardboard over. That's how I feel now, getting older. There's a point. Now, Black Dynamite.
You might say you became a bit more cynical and jaded as you got older.
I think most people do. Life ain't what it used to be.
Life ain't no box of chocolates. You're fucking sure you know what you're gonna get.
Pepperidge Farm remembers, right? But there's this here. Now, I like this, right? Now, he's saying, do you want my help, or are you too proud to take my help? And I like this. He says, Mama always said, a helping hand is a helping hand, clean or dirty. Now, I like that. I like that. That should be on school logos. Aim high, hold aim. Hell no.
I don't see that being a thing at schools, but I mean,
you'd have been more excited for school.
You probably would have. I always had dirty hands.
Ah, well, hey, grubby kids, aren't we?
Well,
But now we're
eating dirt.
Well, it happens. It strengthens you up as a child.
What, eating dirt?
Yeah.
Well, that's what annoys me nowadays, though. It's like I used to eat, like, I don't know, bogies and stuff when I was kind of like my son's age. He's on an iPad or your phone, knows how to work it. That swipe motion. I was on the computer the other day. Like, I've got a desktop computer, and he was up at the screen trying to swipe the screen. I was like, it doesn't work like that, wee man. It annoyed me that he thought everything should be touchscreen.
You still have any old tapes?
What, like just like a
music
tape? Yeah.
See, when he's a bit older, ask him, how does this work? He'll have no idea.
He'll probably just pull it out and...
No,
like,
he'll probably
try
and put his headphones in the holes or something.
Oh, probably.
There is a video of that, like Wednesday and that.
Is there?
And it annoys you, but you think, no, but they wouldn't know.
I suppose that's like them like saying to me, right, set up this typewriter and I don't know how to, whatever. But still, I know what it's for. It's like we've got a landline phone. I have a landline, but it's for my broadband only. Don't phone me on my landline. I'll never answer it.
I tell them, don't give me one. I'm not interested.
You need to have one.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't.
You do. You need a line to your house for it.
But I don't need the phone.
No, you don't need the phone.
Aye.
That's what I'm saying. You just don't plug the phone in. But sometimes when you need to like phone your insurance
keep your
company,
phone. Keep your phone, BT.
That's okay. Quite a bit of aggression aimed towards British Telecom there.
No, they were very good. They were like, okay, Mr. Mark.
All right, I'll keep my phone. Thanks.
No problem, Mr. Mark. Take it away.
Why was he foreign?
He was.
I guarantee he wasn't.
Nah, he wasn't. But I'm not good with accents. We've discussed the fact that my pirate is Irish and my Irish is pirate.
Aye.
And
what were we talking about there?
Black Dynamite.
Yeah, but how did we get on the phones?
Wayne's Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, Ice Cube.
It's all anyway. So then we found out that even though we've seen Black Dynamite, his mum died when he was young.
Yeah.
And this is why he was told he should look after Jimmy. And then this woman gives him shit, and then she's never in the film again. But we did figure out this woman's in Scrubs.
Oh yeah, she's
big fans of Scrubs.
Yeah, she's the one that Chris Turk tries to help, and like after the eyes, and he's like, "Oh, I gave her back her driver's license," and she crashes into Bob Kelso's car, and he gets in trouble for that.
Big up Scrubs.
What the?
Aye. Forget the last season though, where it's a college. Oh god,
I didn't watch the last season.
Don't even watch it.
It's not
crap.
my time.
Jamie's got big opinions on that, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
totally agree with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then we found out that in the orphanage, he used to be an orphan, so he feels very strongly about this. The orphans are on smack.
Yeah, and try to get a fix off of Black Dynamite.
And
he's like, he tries to shake the drugs
brother,
out of them.
You selling?
tries to shake the drugs out of the kids. Which
and the woman goes, "We already tried that.
We tried that. It don't work."
You can shake smoke out of some things, but
well,
not that.
I mean, you can, yeah, maybe not shake the drugs out of someone.
And then we found out that he starts to explain what he's thinking, what he's going to do to the plan to the two other women. And then this is the only appearance of this character. He's giving a little rhyme. He's giving a little speech. It's all rhyming. A woman comes around, and then back Dynamite's going to make it all right. He goes, "Euphoria, you shut the fuck up and get back in there before I beat the shit out of you." And then she goes away crying, and the scene continues. It's cool.
And then that woman's like, "Black Dynamite, I know I've only known you for not a very long time, but I feel like I can trust you." After he's just like verbally accosted this woman.
And he has saved a woman from a giant man in a donut suit.
Wearing alligator shoes.
Because donuts don't wear alligator shoes.
Never trust a man in alligator shoes.
That's. I think that's a good fact to live by.
I have never actually seen a man wearing alligator shoes. Crocodile shoes.
We're not for America. What?
Crocodile shoes. Jimmy Nail.
Ah, right. Fair dues.
Bit of a tedious link, but never mind.
It's all good. But then we get a little scene. We're in the pimp. The pimp meeting, which is a very...
It's like a cut rate player haters ball.
And if you don't know what a player haters ball is, Dave Chappelle show.
There's an awful lot of mention of tricks, marks, trick-ass marks, mark-ass tricks.
Now, there's no...
Skanks, skeezers.
and scallywags. But there is no Ice-T in this one. But we do get a very small scene from Arsenio Hall, who talk show host and Coming to America. Great film.
Yep.
And
Brilliant
he's
film.
got. We should mention there's a very small scene in the bar earlier on, which is Richard Pryor's last film role.
Quite an odd choice for Richard Pryor's last film.
I think he was just hanging out or did a wee role because he was in a wheelchair for the last parts of his life. And he's standing up for a second. He gives a little speech about after his performance. I think it's just one of those wee things. He must have known him, and he wasn't doing many roles at this point.
Just a wee invite on.
Love a bit of Richard Pryor though. Fucking
Get that
great.
Pryor like.
Love it. Richard Pryor live in concert, absolutely brilliant.
Which, when we did the thing is, when it gets to the cut rate player haters ball, I kind of feel like Charlie Murphy should have been in that film.
I totally agree. I think Charlie Murphy, if we couldn't have got Michael J. White, who's brilliant as Black Dynamite, Charlie Murphy could have done this.
Charlie Murphy would have been,
bloody miss Charlie
I think
Murphy.
he should have been in that film. I was genuinely upset when Charlie Murphy died.
I love the fact, I think I've probably told you this, Eddie Murphy Delirious, probably the best stand-up show ever. Probably. Up there.
It's up there. It's probably one of my
favourites. At least top 5.
Yeah.
It's probably been everybody's top 10, at least.
Definitely.
Right?
Should be if it's not. Why is it not?
It's so good. But, now, Charlie Murphy was one of his bodyguards.
Yeah.
Because he'd been in the Navy and things. Now, there's a famous part where Eddie used to get upset. Now, it sounds like they're saying take it off. Or somebody says take it off, but then somebody shouts off something. Now, it's something he did on Saturday Night Live, and it used to annoy him because he'd be on stage and he'd threaten to walk off stage because they would all tell him, do the character, and he's doing his stand-up show. And this woman shouts it out, and then you just hear somebody quick as a flash go, shut up, bitch! And the bit goes crazy. That was Charlie Murphy.
Brilliant.
And he didn't reveal it was Charlie Murphy till, unfortunately, Charlie Murphy died. And I just made me love Charlie Murphy. I'd like a film about Charlie Murphy being the understudy to Eddie, and then actually becoming a good comedian and stand up in his own right.
Brilliant, man.
Be great.
I love Charlie Murphy.
Absolutely brilliant.
So
but Charlie Murphy would have fit in this perfectly.
And then, but the other good bit about this, obviously, apart from the kind of comedy gold line, is the guy who's like a Danny Trejo kind of is he's double, but like the black version.
Aye, not Mexican.
Not Mexican. It's brilliant. He looks so
and there's
much
a
like
white
him.
guy in the pimp just sitting in the background
just randomly.
It's like when you ever see Def Comedy Jam and there's a white man. They're like, "Hi, Mr. White Man." And it's
just like,
Martin Lawrence is like, "Hi, Mr. White Man," and he's
like
like the oldest white guy ever.
It's like the token white guy. Isn't it?
It's so good.
So funny.
But this is a good scene, and then Black Dynamite comes in,
basically declaring his war on drugs.
The line is, "I'm anybody that's doing drugs in the community,
selling drugs in the community. I'm gonna
shut you down.
I'm declaring war on y'all." Cuts to this pimp.
Aye. But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community. It's great. But then
we'll actually cut that in because that bit's absolutely brilliant.
Cut it.
I just got one thing to lay on you cats and then I'll split. That I'm declaring war on anybody who sells drugs in our community.
But Black Dynamite, I sell drugs to the community.
Time for a bit more fake laughing.
But you don't need to. It's good.
Don't need to. Brilliant.
This is where the film takes a big turn.
This is probably around
you took
45 minutes in.
45 minutes into this film.
Time for another plot twist. Cream corn's on side.
Mm-hmm. But we are led to believe that this film, if you were watching this the first time, you would believe that this white mob boss who's wanting to kill Black Dynamite is
the bad guy.
The biggest bad guy in this. Not so.
Wrong.
Because the whole...
Wrong.
This montage is maybe a minute and a half long at most.
Yeah, there's a lot of women cutting mad kung fu shapes. Not actually hitting anyone.
No,
just running around cutting kung fu shapes.
Mm-hmm. Black Dynamite's in the suit. Chases the mob boss out.
Chases the mob boss. Catches him in a helicopter.
With a magnet. That catches the car.
An electromagnet. Lifts
good.
the car. Dumps the mob boss over the same cliff, ironically, which Chicago Wind was killed in.
Watch out.
Might actually be the same footage.
It's so from the young ones. I love it. I love every second of it. I love every second of it. And then that you think that's going to be the whole of the film? It's montaged.
It's montaged. Black Dynamite cuts to the scene where he's...
had a montage.
Mm-hmm. It cuts to Black Dynamite and with his woman. She's like, I better go, Black Dynamite. He's like, baby, it ain't safe on the streets. And then she's like, you think after we've had a nice day, I'm going to stay here and put out? And he comes out with the absolutely immortal line, baby, whether you stay here or you on the streets, I could take it or leave it. But you can go now, you can come. Can you dig it? And right enough, she comes to the star signs. I don't know why they're star signs.
The first one makes sense.
The first one makes sense. The rest of them, not
It's
so
to
much.
show they're not.
They're
actually
doing
having
different
sex.
positions
It
and
keeps
stuff.
the rating down. Doesn't make it an R-rated film.
It makes it 18 instead of being an 18.
R-rated. Well, in America, it goes 18 then R-rated. R-rated means it's like harder to. I think so. I think that's how it works.
I don't understand American ratings.
I could be wrong because I was thinking about Watchmen, the film. It didn't make as much money because basically they made it rated R, and it became like it was harder for you to get young folk in to watch. There was no parental guidance allowed or anything, and it made a lot less money because they wouldn't cut out the blue dong in it. But that's a story for another day because again, MD that knows about Watchmen would understand what I'm talking about.
But what we did realise, obviously, from that film is that if you say "Can you dig it?" in a silky smooth, silky baritone, what's happening, baby? Can you dig it? You're guaranteed to get your hole.
But there is a bit.
I tried it on Haley. She looked at me with utter disgust.
How would you decide? Utter disgust would probably get it. But then again,
but that's because Mark was here.
Your small,
later on,
pale friend is in the room looking at you,
putty in my hands,
eating popcorn while watching.
Well, would you have it any other way? Is that not how it works?
If only, good sir. But we should say.
See, next time we're at your house and you're with Megan, I'll be sitting eating popcorn in the corner. You can try the "Can you dig it?" and see what look she gives you. Probably
much the same.
Well,
but it's worth a go.
We'll try it.
But
we'll try it and get back to you.
We should mention that in this now perfect suburbia world, there's two girls with the jump rope.
Oh yeah.
And they go, this is Black Dynamite. Mommy says my daddy's name is Black Dynamite. Mine too. Hush up, little girls. A lot of cats have that name. Beautiful save there.
Absolutely brilliant.
Scott messed up the play here, but then saved it. You paused to see the time and nearly messed up the whole thing, but you brought it back. You brought it back, and I'll give you your due because I would never have saved this. And
we got back. It was all right.
We got back. So,
but then
big licks to you.
That's when they decide that they need an acetylene torch to break into the factory where all the drugs are being kept.
You ever used one?
What, an acetylene torch?
Oh yeah.
Nah.
I've used them at college for lead burning.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it can go right across the room. I've seen a boy running about with his arse on fire. It's unbelievable. I was just like, I'm glad that ain't me. And I don't know why I'm talking like Black Dynamite, but we have just watched this.
We have just watched it.
Yeah, so come with some slack. Jack.
So yeah, but the best bit about that is the guy they get the acetylene torch from is quite clearly B.A. Baracus.
Yeah,
it's a bit of an A-Team rip-off.
You clocked us right away, because there's a trail right to the top.
Oh, this thing goes way up high, right to the top, right to the honky house.
Let's find out how far.
Well,
or as the guy that showed me around Auschwitz said, let's go further.
Dark?
No, he was the tour guide.
Oh right, I thought you wanted to go further than Hitler.
Oh, no. He was a nice guy. Got a lot of tips.
Hitler?
Well. No, not Hitler, the tour guide. God.
But before we get to the honky house, we have to go to Dr. Wu's crazy island.
Oh, well, this is
in fact, no, hold on a minute. We've missed an entire bit. The Anaconda malt liquor.
They find that the dope is not dope that they're looking for. It's Anaconda malt liquor.
Because they've been drugging it.
Then they get the message from Dr. Wu from Kung Fu Island.
But before we get to Kung Fu Island, there is the longest, tedious link known to man.
Well, we hear
because
from
we find
Dr. Wu, but then we get to that. Yeah.
Aye.
We get to this tedious link. And,
which, depending on which way you want to look at this, from where it starts, it goes on for a good 4.5 minutes. The actual link part itself, probably about 2.5.
I want these guys on the Zodiac Killer case. They would crack it with
They would
this
have it
kind
cracked,
of...
and that woman in the diner. They need her too.
To be fair, right?
Yeah,
have you ever seen Independence Day?
Oh yeah.
Right, Jeff Goldblum in that. Love Jeff Goldblum, brilliant.
I prefer him in Jurassic Park because
everyone
life finds a way. And the reason you love Jeff Goldblum is because your Adam's apple's the same size.
I used to look at him in Jurassic Park. I was big into dinosaurs when I was a wee boy.
Every young boy.
Your wee boy is. It's great.
I love dinosaurs.
Great. I told my mum at 8 I wanted to be a paleontologist. She went, "What?" I said, "Ross from Friends." Oh, the dinosaur man.
Nice.
Right? But that film, I used to look at his Adam's apple and go, "That is disgusting." And then little did I know that
Karma.
I was sporting one.
Karma, baby.
And it's it's a bitch. But
But anyway,
it's all right. It works.
we get from the tedious link, another plot twist.
I mean, how can you explain this tedious link?
This is at the hour mark, right?
Are you going to splice this tedious link in, or is it too long to splice in?
I'll probably struggle
right,
to get
you need to watch this film to see this tedious link,
but the plot
it's
twist,
incredible.
you get an hour in, the plot twist is the Anaconda malt liquor. Then the O'Leary double cross, and then the evil Doctor Wu. This is all in the space of like 4 minutes. That's a lot to cram in.
It is, and O'Leary as boss, his partner in the CIA now, who was in Nam with him, double crosses him, but how he gets to trick him to kill him is pretty sweet.
I don't even think we should spoil that. I think you should watch the film.
It's good. It's up there with Hans Gruber's tricking John McClane in Die Hard.
Definitely.
With the accent. It's up there.
Definitely.
It's good. It's shorter, but it's up there. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But then the evil Doctor Wu. He's just a super villain with a fantastic beard. Suggested grown one to Haley. She wasn't for it.
No, but I think you could.
She has no
Dye
style.
white.
Dye white. Well, I'm probably gonna go grey soon anyway. So.
Oh well, hey, it's happening. It's already happening to me. I'll just say that. But hey, just go with it. Go the Schofield look. It'll be good. Silver Fox for life.
Did you want to know what? It's like I don't have any grey hairs on my head. It's the beard that's letting me down.
I'll not tell you.
I feel so betrayed.
I'll not tell you what it's letting me down first.
Pubes.
No.
What?
No.
Where then? Eyebrows?
You'd have to, you'd have to...
I'm not playing this game again, Mark. I am not inspecting your body for hair.
What is wrong with a game of Operation between pals? Right? What is wrong with that?
It's not Operation. I'm not shaving you beforehand.
Well, this night's taking a wee disappointing turn. We might as well get on with this. So yeah, but then after we get this fantastic, I think it's fantastic, but totally pointless, tedious link, we go to see his pal who's been drinking the Anaconda malt liquor since they found it.
Oh man, I forgot about this bit.
Which you would call a very realistic...
Oh, the penis is fantastic.
A tiny penis.
It's a tiny penis.
It's shrunk. The Anaconda malt liquor has shrunk his penis, and they ask him, "Do you want to live?" And they end up shooting him in the penis.
It looks like they shoot him in the penis.
He doesn't move the gun up.
He doesn't move the gun up. He's pointing at the penis, and then he shoots. The guy lunges forward, obviously, because he's been shot in the penis.
Another
and
great
dies.
line from Black Dynamite: "You diabolical dick shrinking motherfuckers."
Gold.
Big Sam loved that line.
Oh, he would.
And it reminded me that Sam would say, Sam wanted to be on this, but he said he was busy. But we'll see him soon on the podcast.
Sam needs to
Sam's a god among men. Absolutely good. But then we're off to Kung Fu Island, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, Kung Fu Island to take on the menacing Dr. Wu.
Aye.
But before we get there, Black Dynamite and his posse, they attack the island. There's a guy, he's like, Black Dynamite, when all this is over, I'm going to start a family. I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise a family. And then all of a sudden, from nowhere, well, I say nowhere, a spear like just thumps into him. And he's like, who saw that coming? Wait, who saw where that came from?
Great. Pointing out the obvious that you see in a lot of films.
Obviously,
I like it.
Yep. Hiding in plain sight.
I like it.
But from there, obviously, he takes on the evil Doctor Wu, which leads to quite possibly our favourite line in the entire film.
I think it is the line.
Which I
of the
think
film.
we have to splice in.
Splice.
The guy throws this boomerang. It's like Doctor Wu's kind of signature move. He throws a boomerang in the total opposite direction which you are. It comes back and cuts his pal's head off. But then Black Dynamite gets a little bit of revenge on his own. He throws it, and it cuts off Doctor Wu's arm. And then Black Dynamite stands over the top of him and screams.
Do you see where I'm coming from, you jive motherfucker? Ha-ha! I threw that shit before I walked in the room!
So, insert fake laughter.
Pure gold, though.
Absolutely brilliant.
Pure gold. That's the line that reminds me of this film. Really,
it's possibly my favourite line in the film.
And then he finds the documents about who's really behind this. The top boss, the Ganondorf, if you will, Bowser.
You thought it was a Dawn. You thought it was the CIA. No.
No.
That's when they break out. Him and Cream Corn. They find a helicopter. Apparently, all you need to start a helicopter is a hairpin, which happily Cream Corn has.
GTA. Did you ever need to find the keys?
Well,
the keys were in everything.
The theme tune's the same as GTA, pretty much. It. So that explains that link.
We'll ask Tommy Vercetti. You know what I mean?
We'll point it out.
Ray Liotta's voice. It went great.
Yeah. Which then leads us to the honky house. But not before Cream Corn, sadly, gets killed in a helicopter crash. Taken out by a bazooka.
This is the scene that plays in one of the Hostel films in the background.
Son of a bitch! Cream Corn! No!
More gold.
R.I.P. cream corn.
Oh God! To think we met him in that hairdresser's and now he's gone.
Now
They're
he's
all gone
gone.
now. It's just Black Dynamite.
It's just Black Dynamite
They're
that's
all
left.
gone.
The whole posse's gone.
But hey, you know these things happen.
They do, unfortunately.
And but our hero is still alive.
Our hero is still alive.
Now he finds we're at the White House. He takes out a couple of guys, pretty suavely, pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah, I mean he falls from a burning parachute first and lands on both feet from quite a height.
Cool guys don't look at explosions.
True.
But then he finds what can only be described as a vent. A White House vent.
Which is apparently just a presidential logo on a door.
Which you can just pull off and you're in the White House.
That's how I would expect it to
Remember,
happen.
this is the 70s White House. So I was thinking, where are their drones? But it's the 70s this is based in.
Yeah.
There's a lot of afros and hooped
There
rings.
was a lot of marble in the White House.
Yeah, there's a little bit of money in the White House.
I wouldn't have said marble though.
That's
It's not like a Greek. It's like God's house.
Well, this honky house is going to
Honky
change.
house,
It's
true.
going to go down.
But then he bursts into the president's room.
After another costume change into a
After
suave
another
ass
costume
suit,
scene.
which Haley was very impressed by.
Haley was impressed by.
The white boots, the white
Oh
shoes.
yeah, white shoes.
And they are pretty cool. I'm
They are
getting
pretty
some.
cool shoes.
Can.
With
If
a
only you
diamond encrusted kind of. Is it a denim suit? It looks denim.
It looks a little denim, but with a lot of white.
Yeah, a lot of white.
Uh-huh.
Pale denim.
It's looking good.
With
though. He's looking
diamonds.
suave. You've got to look suave. And then we meet the real villain of the story, the big boss, the last boss,
Tricky Dick.
Tricky Dicker Nixon.
Oh,
Nixon's
Nixon.
back, baby.
Nixon's back, baby.
And who knew Nixon was this good with nunchucks?
The thing about Nixon in this film is how much he looks and sounds like Nixon.
Literally, it's like they've got a distant family member. He's good.
He's a good Nixon.
There's a lot of good actors in this that are doing very bad acting. And, But the moment where before he starts doing kung fu, he could play Nixon. He could play Nixon like a bit. There's a film called Frost Nixon that's really good.
What do you think that guy plays the same Nixon like?
No, it's Frank Langella or something that plays it, and it's a good film. But I'm just saying there is a film that he plays Nixon, but this guy probably does look more like Nixon than the guy that played Nixon looks like Nixon.
Nice.
Nixon.
But anyway, fight ensues. Kung fu, of course, no weapons, apart from plates. They start throwing the presidential cutlery around.
Well, the first lady, I think, shoots at him or throws something at him and hits the plate, and he
pimp slaps her
into the cupboard.
Yeah,
Or
but I mean, there was
cutlery
plates getting chucked about before that.
But she's down.
She's down. She's been knocked down.
We couldn't remember the name of the first lady, and we ain't googling it, right?
Nah, we're just winging it. Mrs. Nixon.
Now this is where there's a pretty weird twist where Nixon breaks and gets the gun
that was used to kill Lincoln
by John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
And then the ghost of Lincoln kung fu's his way to assist in Black Dynamite, as he would, because he freed the slaves, and now he's helping Black Dynamite.
Emancipation Proclamation, baby.
Was that Lincoln or Don King?
It was actually Chef from South Park, but the Emancipation Proclamation was a thing.
Big up Chef. I'm a big fan of Chef. Hello,
you
there,
ever heard of the
children?
Emancipation Proclamation? I don't listen to hip hop.
I love that film. And it goes in shoes, but he gets the better of Tricky Dicky, and he lets him live, but tells him how it is
to look after the people,
and to stop this Tricky Dicky stuff because of your insecurity with your small penis, because they're trying to shrink all the brothers' penises with this anaconda malt liquor, and he won't have it. And
that kind of leads him. He goes back. He apologises to the First Lady for pimp slapping her
because she did not hit him. She hit a plate.
Because she didn't shoot at him, even though she said she deserved a pimp slap.
But she then grabs his right leg as his girl
holds his left leg
as he gives us a rousing final speech,
pointing his massive gun.
It would have got me into battle more than William Wallace's speech in the film Braveheart
definitely.
or Mel Gibson.
Definitely.
But
he's a rich guy that gets it.
Then close
for you.
No, how's that for a film?
It's been emotional.
It's thank you, Vinny.
Out of what was your rating?
Well, we said we would do ratings out of 5 golden turds.
Golden turds, because
the more turds, the better. Because this is not.
We're going to have a rating system for each film. Golden turds for funny films that are shite, but you love them.
Films that earn a lot of money. We're not talking. If you were doing Schindler's List or a film like that, you would have proper ratings.
Oh yeah.
You would have a proper 5-10 star rating, which they do, right?
They already have that.
I'd see a golden.
They already have that.
This film,
we don't need to do that.
No, because this film is a turd, but it's not made to be a classic film.
No.
It's a funny film that's became a cult following, and I really enjoy it, and I would give it 4 1/4 golden turds. How's that?
4 out of 5 golden turds for me.
I like it. That's a good, strong starter.
It's a strong film.
It's a good, strong, and it's only an hour and 24 minutes long.
Oh, if even that.
It's a good watch. It's well worth it.
Watch it twice because you might think, what the fuck is going on?
Uh-huh.
There's some good.
You might have a better idea of what's going for. There is wee gems that we've missed out. Like there's an old woman that gets kicked through a door very early on, which is great.
Looking for Nipsey.
Megan laughed at that. It's the only thing that I showed her, and she enjoyed it.
Haley laughed at a few of the lines.
A few of them, but it is very confusing to watch from a different perspective.
She fell asleep.
You can't.
Her opinion doesn't count.
Mm-hmm. Her rating could not be rated.
Yeah, she said, I don't know, I'm not rating this.
But
we were gonna have Haley on, but then she said, I'm not funny, and I agree.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, Michael J. White, who is the star in this Black Dynamite, is mainly known for action films. He's actually wrote this as well. And I remember looking at some of the YouTube comments before I came on some of the clips on YouTube, and there was one that stood out to me that perfectly summed up this film. It was a top comment. A guy had said, I want whatever Michael J. White was smoking when he wrote this film. Well, a million, it was great, and I think that sums it up. But the interesting thing about this film is, it didn't do that well at box office. Apparently, it was made for 2.9 million. It only made about 300,000 at the box office. It was made more in DVDs and things. You know what I mean? I reckon they've made their money back. It's became a cult following film since. But there's been an animated TV series since, which I've never had the chance to watch. And there's also a web series, and I've never had the chance to watch it. But the big thing, is
there's a sequel.
A sequel coming apparently this year.
Oh, can't
And
wait.
it was only a week ago. I saw it on Twitter, I believe. Michael J. White put up. It's just you should play the trailer for it because it's only 20-30 seconds.
If I can find the trailer, I will edit it.
It's on there, but do it because if you watch this now and you think you want to watch it and you enjoy it, you ain't got long to wait till there's another one.
See, I love that.
And that's free promotion there, Michael J. White.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
You're welcome, Black Dynamite.
You might get 60 new folk watching this.
Dynamite!
Brilter.
So,
movie review number 1.
Movie review number 1 done.
How do you feel about it? Do you think this was a good... Because I chose this. Do you think this was well worth...
I'm happy just to watch the film.
Aye.
To be honest, I enjoyed it.
Do you feel a little bit happier with life after watching this film?
It's cheered up a rather tiresome week.
There you go. What more do you want for a film? Really?
Exactly.
How many films can touch you nowadays? Because you've seen so many. I'm bigging this up big time.
Touching me?
Touching you.
Touching you, touching me.
We're not breaking into song again.
We're not,
So yeah, watch Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
Very good film. Worth a look in.
We've that's our first review done.
We'll get another film under the... Well, we'll have a think and see what we're doing. We're not going to pick it yet.
Next time we might just be back to talking absolute nonsense.
Probably.
Definitely.
First movie done though. Bam.
Aye.
Good times.
Are we calling it a day?
Yeah.
Since Haley's just walked into the room and is now looking at us quite panicky. Anywho.
So, watch Black Dynamite.
Watch Black Dynamite.
If you've enjoyed this.
And we'll see you later.
See you later.
Ta-da.
Dynamite! Dynamite!